Hey everyone, welcome to another situational photography lesson. Today I'm giving you 5 tips for creating better portraits. So tip number 1 is to remember your rules and frame subjects properly. So think about rule of thirds. Don't put your subject in the center unless you're taking a typical portrait image that might be for a school yearbook or something like that. But if you're just taking pictures of someone, put them off to the center a little bit. Even if their face is covering the entire frame and it's a headshot, you can put them slightly off center, or at least turn their head a little bit so that they're not looking directly at the camera. Tip number 2 is try to get a blurry background. When you have portraits, you're really trying to focus in on the subject. And so having everything sharp in the image will be distracting. So rather use a long telephoto lens or just create a very shallow depth of field using your aperture, opening it up wide to like an f1.4, f2, f2.8, one of those, and get a blurry background. Speaking of backgrounds, tip number 3 is to think creatively about your background. So wherever you are, whether you have a backdrop or you're outside or indoors, think about having something that is more interesting than just a white wall. Now maybe you want a plain look, but maybe you don't want them to sit in front of the white wall. Put them in front of a few different objects that are out of focus and it'll create a cool effect. Tip number 4 is to try a serious pose. So often when families are taking photos of their loved ones or you're just taking photos around, it's the automatic response. Say cheese, and everyone smiles. But if you're a photographer looking to create art out of your portraits, try to get your subjects to look serious. And not that it has to be sad, but sometimes a serious look creates a better image and more interesting image than a smiling portrait. And the last tip, number 5, is to elongate the subject's neck. So have them stick their neck out a little bit, tilt their neck up. This is something you've probably heard when someone has taken a headshot of you as a kid or at your workplace, but it really creates a more 3D look, and that's more flattering than if your face and your neck and your body is all just a flat 2D, two-dimensional look. So having your subject stick their neck out, look up, or tilt to the side a little bit will help make their body and their face look more 3D, and that will be a little bit more flattering for them. So those were 5 tips for taking better portraits.